How do you become the next pop star? I'll have that story coming up.
I'm Carmel Cafaro, live in Hollywood. We tested sushi throughout South Florida. Wait until you see what we found. My special report, Something Fishy, coming up.
All right, Carmel, also ahead, a wayward gator getting in the way at a water treatment.
Also tonight, the sushi biz is on a roll, but raw fish is a breeding ground for bacteria.
The greater the bacteria, the greater the chance somebody will get sick after they eat that.
So, how can you be sure your sushi is safe? On Night Team's special report, Something Fishy.
Well, it does seem everywhere you turn in South Florida, it seems like a new sushi restaurant is opening up.
But anytime you serve up raw food, especially raw fish, health concerns crop up. Investigative reporter Carmel Cafaro live for us in Hollywood with her special assignment report tonight, Something Fishy. Carmel?
We are live tonight in Hollywood at Nakorn, where the sushi tested safe. But not all South Florida restaurants are as conscientious. And when we went undercover, we found some serving something fishy. If you've ever ordered sushi, you know it's more than just a meal. It's edible art. Today, the Japanese cuisine has become an American food craze, slicing and dicing over $1 billion worth of business.
I'd say it's my favorite food.
Andrew Moose used his appetite as an incentive to become an entrepreneur. Today, he runs his own sushi catering business and heads the Tampa Bay Sushi Society.
I was more hungry than smart that day, I guess you would say.
But twice, Andrew has been a victim of bad sushi, getting sick both times at the same restaurant.
I was throwing up for about 2 days.
Andrew doesn't know if the fish was foul or just handled improperly, but he suspects the first time the sushi was stored at an improper temperature. According to state regulations, all sushi must be stored at 41 degrees or below.
Improper temperature control is a leading cause of people getting sick after they've eaten something.
So 7 News wanted to see how well sushi is stored in South Florida. We sent an undercover producer to 4 different restaurants, 2 in Miami-Dade and 2 in Broward. We then recorded the temperature of the sushi as soon as it came to our table and sent it to a lab to be analyzed.
Anytime food is stored above the appropriate storage temperature, it will allow for germs to grow.
First, we tried sitting at a table directly outside a restaurant. The temperature of the sushi, 55 degrees, 14 degrees above the maximum temperature. Next, an all-you-can-eat buffet, temperature 62 degrees. Then we ordered inside a restaurant, our fish, an impressive 40 degrees. And finally, we ordered takeout and recorded the temperature as soon as the meal was done being prepared. The reading, a whopping 67 degrees.
I'd be concerned about that.
And there's reason to be concerned. It's no coincidence that the 2 sushi lunches with the highest temperatures also scored the worst lab scores.
In 2 of the samples, the bacterial levels were 10 times higher than in the 2 others.
According to Dr. Pete Kamik, the samples were well on their way towards decomposition.
When we say something is decomposed, we mean it's not edible.
But that's not all. What's really worrisome is the film you see on the top of these 2 Petri dishes. That film shows traces of E. coli in both samples.
E. coli can cause primarily different types of gastrointestinal sicknesses.
One way to make sure a fish is fresh is to catch him yourself. Take a look at this redfish we just caught. Now, at this point, the meat is sanitary. But when it comes to commercially caught and processed fish, there are a lot of steps between the boat and the table, and that's when contamination can occur.
Nice fish, Carmel.
Thanks, Captain Larry.
Job.
But if you can't catch your own fish, you can prevent something fishy from happening. The one place where our meal was served below 41 degrees, Nakorn in Hollywood, has all their sushi chefs wear latex gloves and has all sushi served on ice or on an ice-cold plate.
We have to keep in the right temperature.
If you can't tell if the sushi is safe, the head chef for Andrew Moose suggests using your senses.
I looked in the fish case to see if I liked the appearance of the fish.
And if you don't feel comfortable, don't take the risk.
There are just certain criteria for food safety which should be followed in any restaurant or catering setting, but when you're dealing with raw food on a daily basis, you need to take that even to another step.
And a final tip, make sure that your sushi smells fresh and not fishy. Reporting live in Hollywood, Carmel Cafaro, 7 News.
All right, Carmel, thank you.
Still ahead from the night team tonight, a stolen Rolex and a pawn shop.